When in the journey did you two meet?
It was like 15 years ago. The connection was the fact that we both knew somebody involved with Victor Victoria.
Yes.
What was the name of that director who directed that concert I did at Universal Amphitheater at the Hollywood Bowl?
Steve Binder.
Steve Binder, who also is a friend of Glenn Rogan's. You want to tell the story how you know Steve?
I was working on a film, and he had called me and said, I have a couple tickets, because he was going to start the, is it the NHK?
Yeah. He was
broadcast, which they were going to put it on film for Japan, right?
Japanese public television.
Yes, so he called me and he said, I have to go for 3 days, and I have seats. Do you want to come see the show? And I had not seen a Broadway show yet. And I said, sure, I'll go. And
how long were you living in New York by then?
oh, do I have to answer that?
Yeah. And you hadn't,
about 3 years.
and you hadn't seen a Broadway show.
And I had not seen a Broadway show.
They cost a lot of money, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I went and I was just mesmerized. I absolutely adored that show. I really didn't remember his character at all.
So yeah, we met at in a bar.
We met in a bar.
And but once we established the fact that I was wearing a Victor Victoria hat, that's what made the conversation.
Oh, yeah, then
I saw that
you in
show.
it, and then you started.
It took a while to
remember
convince her that
him.
I was actually. She didn't remember me at all. And it was a miracle that we ever ended up dating. But I wooed her with tickets to see Nathan Lane in Forum, because she said it was the only Broadway show she'd ever seen. So that was like 3 weeks away. I managed to finagle another dinner date before then, and then
The rest is history.
the rest is history.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Great. So I wanted to ask, and the boys might jump in on this too, how have the different stages of your career, Greg, shaped the journey of your family? And, and also you guys can talk about what it's like having a dad that's, has to be here and there and performing for everybody. What's that like?
Well, in some standards, it's hard because we're away from him for a long time. Sometimes we're away from him for 3 or 4 or 5 months, and we only get to see him for 2 weeks. So
Or on the webcam,
sometimes
right?
it can be hard, but at least we see him on iChat, which is the built-in Skype for Mac computers. But at least we can see him every night, and when we're here, we see him every day, pretty much. I love to go to the theater and pick him up. Just a couple nights ago, actually, you might find this very funny, we had to beg my mother for me and my brother to go pick my dad up.
At night, you mean after the night show? Yeah, because that's kind of after bedtime, I bet.
But we're kind of keeping the boys on
LA time.
LA time.
So we wake up like 12 noon, but then we go to bed like midnight.
Earlier than
Like
we get up a little
midnight.
earlier than noon, yeah.
Well,
But 10, right?
Yeah.
You shoot for 10 o'clock.
and then we go to bed at like midnight, 11 o'clock.
That's pretty cool.
To this day is knowing that no matter how I set up the apartment,
wasn't gonna be-
when she came in, she was going to redo everything because I have no sense.
And I even gave him that excuse.
And she even handed me that excuse as well. So
Nice one.
yeah, no, she's very, very forgiving for her slacker husband.
So Julie, I'm going to ask you,
Come
what's
sit on my
it
lap.
like, since you spoke about that, to maintain like the family structure with Greg being so far away?
Well, like he said, there are parts of it that are simpler because pretty much I make all the decisions. But then when we're back together, it's nice not to have to make all the decisions. So that's and just being physically out of his presence it's challenging for all of us. I mean, we're going on 2 years now of working through this separation, and they're in a really phenomenal school. And that's really that's what keeps us in Los Angeles pretty much, is that the quality of education that they're actually getting there is really amazing. And
That we can afford.
well, and it also, when we tried school here on the Broadway schedule, and it's really, really, really hard because we get up at 6 a.m. to take him to school, get him ready for school, and then he goes to bed by 8 o'clock at night. So even when we're here, if they were in school, we really wouldn't ever get to see him.
Can you tell us about that, Zach, a little bit? What it was like, and you got to play kind of like a bad, creepy kind of kid, right? You were kind of like a bad guy.
Well,
You got to curse and do some like things you don't normally get to do.
Well,
Tell us the
I'm
name of
not
your.
a bad person.
I know.
The basic storyline of it
She's
is
a
about
great kid.
this spirit channeler who's trying to find a church, and he hires a bunch of people to help him. And I'm kind of like one of those streetwise, tough kind of people. And I'm also kind of the FBI in the show because
Whoa, pretty cool.
in the whole thing, I always carry a switchblade in my pocket.
Oh, you love that, I bet.
Um,
That was pretty cool.
But also, any of you people who want to see it, it's filming on YouTube, but any of you who want to see it,
Tell them the title of it.
it's called Dr. Fosnian Master Spirit Channeler. I would recommend not letting kids that are under teenagers watch it because it's very foul.
Okay.
The language.
The language.
It's foul.
When I know about it, so I can see it, because I know about it.
Well,
And you don't repeat it.
Yes.